I was kind of getting comfortable in my chair thinking there will be music performance and then I will be called. So a pleasant good evening to all of you and a hearty welcome to the Orchid School. This is our 6th edition of TEDx The Orchid School. And I think it gives me immense pleasure and pride to see year after year young people taking center stage, backstage, front stage, and even outside the auditorium to work as a team in varied positions and curate this flagship event. How do we meaningfully incorporate the youth voice? Because we keep hearing that education ecosystem must find a space. And I call you the generation unlimited. You're intense on everything. Emotions, determinations, feelings, commitment, scrolling. You know, everything is intense and unlimited. You know, you want unlimited packages. You don't want prepaid. You want everything postpaid. Yet your vulnerability has long been a source of anxiety for us who are responsible for ensuring your safe development to adulthood. You're also depicted as emotionally at risk, facing increased stress in education and other environment. Tell me about the increasing risk in stress in education environment. Fundamentally, you're feared to be at risk of having little chance to become who you want to be rather than what others wish you to be. So we are constantly channelizing you in that. To this, the pressure of consumerism, the cognitive impact of technology with which you engage, and the whole consumerism and its economic exploitation as a future workforce, all of this potentially shape you young people in a way that you almost feel powerless to resist. But the YouTube generation, that's you, don't seem to really necessarily see it as powerless. Or you don't view yourself as the victim of your environment, which is a very wonderful news. And you also present as a counter narrative, and I've seen it in my work with the Indian youth and the global youth, that you are often agentive, that you want to make changes, you want to be the the social agency of change. And you're creative and buoyant and moderating and overcoming the hazards of that we perceive as adults. And this has been so much spoken about in the literature of well-being, happiness, resilience, and buoyancy, and it attempts to identify how young people's education and lives and the school can be interwoven to ensure that we keep you alive and we don't lose you, because that's the whole purpose of education. And hence, Orchid's attempt is to establish an environment that is suitable for human nourishing or human flourishing, which is much bigger than the academic learning, and more both in physical and the affective, the emotional context that you can experience positively and reach your fullest potential. Hence, a lot of our effort is to have things that happen in the classroom, but also provide a lot of opportunities for experiments outside. From a distance, the situation for young people seems grim. Close up, what comes into focus is your capacity. Remember, I called you the generation unlimited. And you can experience your youth more constructively. And even in challenging circumstances, we want you to be able to lead a life that you can value and enjoy. Remember, it's not been so difficult to notice this young Swedish girl of your age and climate emergency activist Greta Thunberg. And it had gained international recognition and also rebuke. Fox News, which later apologized for its comment, described her as a mentally ill child. Why am I saying this? The adult world seems to have an unwritten antagonism versus your age. Greta's voice and the actions of young people in striking the climate emergency challenges our perception of who we are. Still, yet, parents and teachers allowed this strike. So I want you to also not view this as a me versus you as young people. Because remember, parents and teachers also allowed the children to strike and to take part in something we all hold dearly as a society, not the climate crisis, the democratic process. The only way, my dear educators and parents, we can teach democracy to our children is to allow them to have a voice and opportunity to make decisions. Because we cannot prepare young adults to engage with something like a voting process. 24, we have the election, and some of you would be eligible to vote. And if you haven't been involved in any personal decision-making processes, how would you decide the fate of the nation? Very, very worrisome thought. Hence, having a voice to make decisions and choices is as much about responsibilities as it is about rights. And I know teens love to talk about rights and fairness. Just flip the coin and you will see that you're part of this coin and you're on the other side of the coin in terms of your responsibilities and accountability. And as adults, we must understand that they may not make always appropriate choices. But remember, they're making a choice, and even if it's a mistake, it's within the care and support and environment of us in our presence, and I think they have an opportunity to fix their mistakes. Dear friends, my young students, today's TEDx at the Orchid School is an attempt to build a space for meaningful youth voice, purposeful leadership, because we all thrive on titles, but we know that titles mean much more than that, and you will hear it in one young voice today. Voice for a cause, because all of us want to raise our voices, but when it really comes to for the cause, we all want to be the bystanders. There's hardly any upstander who says, hey, that's wrong. One person calling it as the situation or the act as wrong, you will find more voices. Hence, voice for a cause, voice with a cause. And a venue for the expressions, the deep, fearful experiences and expressions. And a safe space to share the deeper senses of identity and who I am. And trusting this audience to share it. And to be able to make some wrong decisions or slip-ups while performances are happening. But above all, learning to be happy and fine with those imperfections. And I see that in the dance and the music. So once again, reminding ourselves, education is not preparation for life, education is life. My dear educators, young people who are waiting to be employed, remember that we cannot solve problems with the kind of thinking we employed when we came up with them and when we got employed. So there are two double whamms in it. My request is, as educators, we have to find the fine balance to align the goals of education to address everything that matters to the youth. After all that matters to you matters to us. Thank you.